What's up, everybody? So I kind of wanted to do a review on this product that I've been using. I've been getting a lot of DMs on Instagram about like what it is or how does it work. So it's actually a gauge. The gauge that I'm actually using is this one right here. There's two different gauges. I have the X Revolution series. It's a pretty clean ST. Actually, the one that I use, this is the one I bought. There's like two different ones, but this is the one that I end up purchasing. It's shaped a little different, and then it kind of has more of the, there's more features pretty much on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link their Instagram account. It's going to be right up here. That's where you can go to purchase it. It'll take you to their website, and then I think it was around like 100 to 150 bucks for the one I got. Now, what I'm actually talking about is this little device right here. Turn everything down. I'm actually gonna have to start the car. So I'm gonna start the car. It's probably gonna be a little loud.
Expand.
And the garage is open, so we're not gonna be breathing in all this shit.
Laser.
All right, I get it.
GPS connected.
Turn the AC on because it's hot as hell and it's in Arizona. So pretty much what this gauge is, I'm pretty sure you guys can hear me okay. So pretty much this is kind of like what the gauge is. Let me close this vent so maybe you could, in case the air is blowing. So pretty much they'll customize it to what you kind of want. So I have this Shelby logo on there. They have, now let me try to get through this process because it's kind of a lot. Let me see, they're just, let me see, it's kind of a mess to get in here, but once you figure out your way around here, because it's actually been a while because I had this set to where I wanted it, a lot of things in here, and so pretty much I adjusted my speed to where I think I'm going 2 miles per hour over my speed. And the reason why I chose that was because I already see my speed on here on the speedo, but I also have my miles per hour up here on my radar detector. But I kind of gauge it to where I put it to 2 miles per hour over in case I feel like I'm speeding. I kind of like go under the speed limit if I know I'm already going 2 miles per hour over. So yeah, I know it sounds dumb, but that's just like the way I'm thinking. I kind of have a weird brain. So the reason why I bought this device in the first place was because I have a 2016 GT350, and those of you that don't know, I have the tech package, but I also have MagneRide, I have all that stuff, but I do not have oil coolers. So my car didn't come with oil coolers. And even if you have the track pack or you have a newer year, like an 18 or 19 or 20 that come with the coolers, then you're still going to want to look at your oil temperature and your engine temperature, or technically your engine oil temperature and then your transmission temperature. So what I did was I could constantly look at my transmission oil and my gauge, my oil temperature here, because I don't really like these dials. The dials don't, I'm more of a digital person. Like seeing digital numbers, I could see exactly what I'm looking at instead of gauging between, you know, pretty much a little dial. So as you can see in here, I have the engine oil temp and the transmission temp. Those two are one of the main numbers that I look at when I'm driving this car, especially in the summertime. And I already been in a limp mode twice. Those of you, I don't know if you guys had a 16 or whatever, and you are a 17, you don't have coolers, but if you haven't went in a limp mode, what this car does in limp mode is pretty much when it gets, I noticed that the oil temperature could get pretty hot, but once the transmission hits over like maybe, I think it's like 350, I think that's the most I got, 350. But once the transmission oil gets to a certain point where it's so hot, it'll put you into limp mode. And technically what it does is it won't let me go past like 4K RPMs. It'll literally just bog out. It'll feel like you have no gas, like you have no power. So technically you'll lose power, it'll go in limp mode. And then once you get that transmission, I've noticed it to be the transmission temp, not the oil temp. But last time, since I did the I did forescan on the car, but that's how some of you guys are wondering how I got the R emblem on my car, which remember I told you I get it. I know it's not an R, but my car is red and it kind of goes with the theme color of the car. So now that I use the forescan, I put the oil temp, the transmission oil temp on there. Now I believe that when the transmission oil gets too hot, the temperature gets too hot, that's when you go into limp mode. It's not technically the engine oil temp, it's the transmission temp, and that's what that's why they have coolers, and that's why you get the transmission coolers. So in order to get the transmission coolers in this car, it's under like $4 or $5 grand, which I'm not going to do that when I could literally just buy another year. But like I said, I don't plan on getting rid of this car anytime soon. I love this car. It hasn't done anything wrong to me besides the issues that you guys already seen that I had. But other than that, back to the gauge. That's the reason why I bought the gauge, was because I could actually see my speedo. I could actually see my speed right there, while I constantly have my oil temp and my engine oil temp, my transmission and my engine temp on there. So that way, also what this gauge is helping at is like mostly in the twisties, when I'm going around twisties and you see you're coming around a turn and it says about 25 miles an hour, I know I could go about maybe 60. I could kind of gauge, you kind of gauge when you have the speedo, when you have the speed right at your eye level, you can kind of gauge and look up at the sign. If you're going to a turn, going to a corner, and it's saying, you know, 30, 20 miles an hour, you can see at your speed at eye level, and instead of taking your eyes off the road and looking down here and then going back up when you're about to hit a turn. So it always comes in handy when you have the speed right here. So I'm technically looking at the peripheral of my eye, and I'm seeing the speed limit as I'm going into that turn. And that's what I have noticed when I'm driving this with my buddies up in the mountains or whatever, we're going through twisties and going through turns, is that having that speedometer at eye level, knowing that I'm going to that turn, and feeling more confident knowing what speed I'm hitting that at. So to get back through some of the gauges, let you guys know more about what this is about instead of talking about that whole issue. Pretty much you could go out, let me see, you could set a lot of things. So what you can do is there's time stuff in here. You could start like 0 to 60 times, but of course some of these cars already have 0 to 60 built in them. Like the 350 has a 0 to 60 you can do in the car. So they have 0 to 100, you have like the quarter mile, that stuff. So yeah, but we're gonna go out of that because I'm not gonna do that. I haven't actually used it. A lot of stuff here, let me see, let's go to this. You could change like where you want the RPMs at, where you want, you know, you got your water temp, you got your speed, you got your clock. You could actually change a lot of this stuff. So you could change, let's see, damn it, hold on, okay, wait. So if you want to change your logo, you could change your logo to Mercedes, to, I don't know, with a BMW, Mini Cooper, Volkswagen, Skoda, Audi, I don't even know what that one is, that Flash, just kidding, that's 350Z. So you could actually change your logo, and if you also want a custom logo, just let them know, and they could pretty much, with this card comes, it comes with like a little SD card in the back of it, come out with a newer model version or whatever, like an update. They will send you pretty much an email with the link, and you put the SD card in there and you download the new information and transfer it to the new SD card, and it'll upload into your gauge again. So you have all the updated versions if you need to, if they contact you and saying that, hey, there's a new version available. So you have all these, you have Porsche, you have Ferrari. So like with the water temp, I could click on this and we could change it to a lot of things. You could change it to, like I said, the gear. This is all customizable of how you want it. So let's get out of here. And this is actually the gauge I have. I like this gauge because, like I said, I customized all this to blue. I don't know, I just like at night, it's easier to see blue, and then the green. In the daytime, it's easy to see the green, that neon green, the speed right there. It just is in a corner of my eye, and I can see it perfectly, my speed, even though, like I said, the green doesn't go with the car, but it's very bright for me to see. At night, this thing lights up, and you can see the numbers perfectly. You guys seen in my videos on here, like on Instagram, that you can literally see the numbers even in the camera on the daytime. So let's go here. Oh, these are your shift lights. So I took the shift lights off because on the 350s we actually have the shift lights up here on the dash. So you could actually change those, the sequence, and how you want them. You want them like that, you want them constant, you want them, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But, oh, this is how bright you want them. But we're just gonna go 0 because I don't want them on, so we're gonna turn these off. Okay, so we're going to the color setup. You could technically do, let me see, in the let's see the number. Actually, let's go to the speed number. So right there, you could actually change this to whatever color you want. So we're gonna go blue. So now that it went blue, hold on. So now it went blue. Now that number, your miles per hour number is now blue. So we're gonna go back to green. I used to have it at red. Well, actually that's the background. I don't want the background white. There we go. We're gonna go back to green. There we go. So I'm gonna keep it at green because that's what I like to see, just something really bright in the corner of my eye. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I know a lot of people were asking, messaging me on DM. Like literally this last week, I got so many DMs on what the device is and where I get it from. So that's technically where I got the device. If you guys want to go check them out on Instagram, just send them a DM and then they'll get you hooked up with it. I think I paid around 100 to 150 bucks, depending on which device you get, because I got the X Revolution one. That one was a little more than the other one. So we have this gauge, we have this gauge, we have this gauge. And remember, all these right here, these are all customizable. You could change the color of this. It could be green, it could be red, whatever you want the color to be to match your interior or your car, whatever. We got this one, and then just the back to the. I like this one because when I'm going, you could actually see. So I'm gonna give the car a little bit of gas, and you can see the pretty much the gauge go up to the RPMs. So here you go. See, I'll roll down the window for you guys so you can kind of hear it. And I guess I'll open the valves for you guys too. One second. There you go. Alright, so technically here we go. And we're gonna close the valve so we don't piss out the neighbors. I just got new neighbors right across the street. So let's not piss them off because, yeah. So there you guys go. That is the gauge. Like I said, 100, 150 bucks, and it actually plugs in. I didn't tell you how it plugs in. So technically how it all connects up, it connects to your OBD2. So it's literally just a plug. Let me see. Yeah, so it's just right in there. If you guys can see it. Yeah, that's it right there. It's just that one right there. So what I did is I kind of like wedged it in the back of this. I took this little panel off. I took this panel off right here, and I kind of just wedged the wire, and you can see the wire right there, so it's kind of hidden. And then I also just used Velcro, so everything, it's like stuck on there pretty good. Because the issue was, I just had it sitting up there for a while, and then every time I go ahead and turn, it'll just fall to the side. And I was too worried about the gauge and worried about the down road. All right, so I really hope that this helped you guys out. I'm gonna be sending this to the DMs. Anybody who's asking about this product now, I'm just gonna be sending it to the DMs on Instagram. That way you can just follow the video and kind of take a look at what it is, and that way you know exactly what it is and what you're getting yourself into. So I do recommend it. I love it. At first I was kind of biased. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Having this gauge on the dash also gives me another way to look at the oil temperature and the transmission temperature. That way I'm paying attention to my speedometer, because other than the radar, I don't really like the gauge. I don't really like gauging off, miles per hour off the gauge. I like seeing everything digital. So I highly recommend it. You don't have to buy it. I'm not getting anything out of it, but a lot of people are asking, so hopefully I could help out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And like I said, this is the device, and I highly recommend it. It definitely comes in handy. If you get this, I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you have any questions, just hit me up on Instagram, send me some DMs, and I hope you enjoy the product.